Welcome back again to Arinka's Kitchen. I have another family favorite recipe that I'd like to share with you. It's called Yellow Bean Vegetable Dish. Sárga bab főzelék. So what you would need for this recipe is 1 cup diced yellow beans, 250 milliliters of sour cream, 1¼ cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of butter, a teaspoon of Vegeta or vegetable base, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of flour. So what you would do is you would wash your yellow beans thoroughly and then dice 1 cup of yellow beans into medium pieces. And then you would cook the yellow beans until slightly firm in water and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then you drain off the water and you'd melt butter in a large pot and add the yellow beans and add vegetable base to the melted butter. So what I've got here is some yellow beans that I've already cooked up, and they're slightly cooked firm. So, and I've diced them up into medium-sized pieces. And then I've got some melted butter on the stove. So what you would do is you would melt some butter, and then you would add the yellow beans to the melted butter, and then you would add your Vegeta and your salt. So, and what I've done is I have mixed together a 1/4 cup of milk to sour cream, and then I've added 2 tablespoons of flour to the sour cream and mixed it together, and I've done that to make sure that there's no lumps inside this mixture. And I would pour this over the beans, and I would bring it to a boil, a slow boil, and then it would be ready to serve. And you could serve it with one of your favorite vegetable, or not vegetable, but meat dishes of your choice. And there's some on the website. What I have is the beef stew. You could serve it with the beef stew. You could also serve it with a chicken paprika if you want, and it can also be served with the hamburger recipe or the meatloaf recipe that I have. So this recipe is very versatile. It can also be eaten on its own. It's very filling. My mother would grow the yellow vegetable, yellow beans in her garden, and then she would I'd pick them for her in the garden, and then we'd wash them thoroughly, and she'd cut them up, and she would make this great vegetable dish. So as the butter is melting, I'm going to be adding the yellow beans to it. So I've got it at a medium heat. I'm just going to add, and I'm going to just slightly fry it in this dish. So I'll just continually stir it and fry it for about five minutes at medium heat. And I'm going to make sure that I'm near the stove doing this, because it can burn pretty quickly, especially when you're working with butter. So I'm just going to kind of slowly fry that a little bit for about 5 minutes, and then when the 5 minutes is done, then I would add some spices as I'm getting it ready for the next step, which is adding the sour cream. Okay, so I've got the salt, the sea salt. I use sea salt. And then I'm just going to add that in there. And I'm going to gently stir, because you don't want the yellow beans to fall apart, so just gently stir it around. And then what I would do is I would add the vegetable base, and this one is Vegeta, but if you can't get a hold of that spice, then you can use a vegetable base of your choice, whatever is available in your area. And I'm just going to stir that around, make sure that all the salt and the Vegeta is all stirred in there. And then I'm going to add this mixture. This has flour and sour cream and milk. So I'm just going to slowly pour that on over the yellow beans. And what the flour does, it thickens it becomes kind of like a sauce, a white sauce. So I'm just going to slowly stir that, and I'm going to bring it to a slow boil. And as it boils, it's going to get thicker. You can get a thick consistency of it. So I'm going to let that cook for a few more minutes until it thickens, and I will be back to show you this great recipe. Welcome back again to Irinka's Kitchen. I had on the stove some yellow beans, and what I did was I added sour cream flour base to it, and I brought it to a slow boil. And what the flour does is that it thickens the sauce for it, the white sauce for it. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you this great recipe as to what it looks like. So this is a great recipe. It can be served with rye bread, or it can be served with one of my meat dishes that are on my website. There's the chicken paprika dish, there's a hamburger and meatloaf recipe, and there's also the beef stew recipe. Or you can serve it with any of your favorite meat dishes. So I hope that you enjoy this recipe and cooking this for your family or friends. Until next time, bon appetit, jó étvágyat. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me at Irene@irinkaskitchen.com or irinkaskitchen.com.